Hi everyone, it's Wendy Achatz. I am co-owner and founder of Achatz Handmade Pie Company along with my husband Dave. We have been in the pie business for 27 years here in Michigan, and I do not plan on going out of business here during this upcoming recession, and I have some ideas to share with you that we are going to be using to help us to stay in business. All right, you guys, stay tuned. So if you are in business for yourself, or if you work for a small business, what's going on? I would love to hear from you in the comments below where you feel your company is headed. Are you guys open? We're considered an essential business, so we should have been open through this whole pandemic. But we decided to close. On March 23rd, we laid off many people, about 95 people. We have 6 of our pie shops here in Metro Detroit. We laid everybody off. We closed down for about 5 weeks. We still had some of our maintenance crew and our janitorial team and our ops manager. You know, they were there doing a lot of repairs and maintenance, so that was good. And it also gave us a lot of time to put the safety measures in place that we needed to have in all of our retail pie shops. So if you have been into one of my pie shops over the last couple of weeks since May 1st, since we opened up, let me know what you think about the safety measures that we have in place. You know, everybody's wearing masks and we're doing all of the hourly sanitation on door handles and everything. And we've got the huge plexiglass up, no dine-in, of course. We've got X's on the floor. So we're doing all the basic protocol, probably over and beyond. We're happy to be open again. Of course, our 6 pie shops are not exceeding last year's sales. Some of them are down 25%. We've got a plan of what we're going to do here, and we have a plan B and a plan C. I hope it doesn't get to plan C, but I want to share the plan my husband Dave and I have put together of what we need to do to stay in business and what we might have to do. So ask yourself, if everything that you know now, and if you could choose to go back into the same business, would you choose to go back into the same business? Would you be in the same industry that you're in now, knowing everything that we know? Would you choose to open up a business? Would you choose to go back into the same business that you're in? Now, it's been 27 years that we've been in the pie business, and I say to myself, man, this is really rough times for anyone in the food industry. What could we have done differently? What could we have planned differently? You know, but I don't think there was too much that we could have planned differently. What about you guys? I would love to hear in the comments below what business you're in, and knowing everything that we know about this pandemic and how ill prepared we were. Would you still be in the same business? Are you in trouble right now? Is your business struggling? Did you file for some of the PPP money, the Payroll Protection Plan? We did. I said in another video that, man, I didn't want to touch that money. I don't like to take the handouts. I felt it was a small bailout for small companies. So I guess it is a good idea. We were advised by so many people to take advantage of this free government money, and it's taxpayer money, guys. But 75% of it is supposed to go to your employees. So the Payroll Protection Plan. Don't know if it was the best idea that our government came up with. They probably should have looked over to Europe and some of the other countries and saw how the government was helping the small businesses to keep their employees employed. Some of the small European countries said to the small businesses, we'll go halvesies with you, keep people employed even though you're not up and running. Keep people, keep paying people, and we'll give you half of their paycheck, we'll reimburse you. So there was a lot of other different ways that I think things could have been done. I think we're headed for some bad tax hikes here in the future. You probably agree with me on that. Boy, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but when that PPP money runs out, and ours will run out end of June, and I don't know when you signed up for it, if you did, or if the company that you work for did, it's going to run out, and then what? Unemployment is going to run out end of July. Then what? I feel like we're just kind of like in this floating, zone right now. So I look back at the past and the career path that Dave and I chose, and I would still say yes. But if you were to say no, you would not choose to get back in the same business, then you have three choices. One, fix it. What are the problems you see? If you can't fix it, you probably need to sell it or you need to close it. And those are your three choices: fix, sell, or close. And so I looked at our business and I said, it definitely needs to be fixed. It's not working in this atmosphere that we're in right now. A lot of the restaurants, they're not working. There's huge layoffs. They're doing carry out, they're doing curbside pickup. Well, what we decided to do was home deliveries. And during that 5 weeks that we were all staying at home, most of us anyway, we got quick to the action here. And I called my sister Alexandra, I called my daughter Rachel, and we hurried up and put a home delivery program together. And it took a couple of weeks. We don't have a real strong IT department where I could have called on my head of technology. We don't have that at Achatz Pie Company. I probably would have went a lot easier and smoother setting up this new website on Shopify to do the home delivery, but we did it ourselves. Go to that link. I'm going to include a link below for our home delivery. So we're delivering within the Metro Detroit, within our delivery route. It's going pretty well. We might even expand it a few more miles. That worked out really well for us. The first week that we launched it, people really enjoyed it, really took off. We still had some issues to work out, but I think a lot of the restaurant people that I know are really hardworking people. They're very creative, and I think they could probably stay and thrive in business with home deliveries and curbside pickup. So if you would choose to stay in your business, what things are you going to have to fix or change in the business that you're at? Is it possible to do curbside or home deliveries? A lot of people don't have that option. A lot of people did not file for the PPP loan. I have a friend that is in the all-natural soap and lotion business, and she uses a lot of essential oils. Her business is called Choices, and she has 2 locations, one in Grosse Pointe and one in Shelby Township, and she does phenomenal business. I love Helga. I love her products. Does great. Well, she decided to close down her Grosse Pointe location. She had to break her contract. She had to hire a lawyer, and she did this early on. She did this way early on in March, and so she's still paying rent on her little location there in Shelby Township. So good for her. That is a good option for you if you have more than one location. We have 6 locations and we pay rent on 4 of them. And I told you in that other video, after we laid everybody off on March 23rd, for like 24 hours, I was just kind of like in limbo land. I wasn't thinking straight. But after about 24 hours, I sent out the emails to my office and said, don't pay any bills. We need to negotiate. So we negotiated with our landlords. We said, hey, we're closed. We're not selling anything. We're not selling pies. We can't pay you rent. And, we're all in this together. We need help. We need some assistance. We need help. So 2 of the landlords says, you need some assistance. Go ask the government. They're giving free money away. Go get that PPP money. But one of the landlords in our Oxford location said, yeah, I get it. I'll cut your rent in half for next month. And so that was very gracious and wonderful. So now I look at it, we have opened our stores on May 1st. We're selling pies, but our business is down, and it's way down. And it's down like 35% in some stores, half in some stores, some weeks. We don't know if it's going to pick back up. Are people feeling at ease coming out and shopping? Our home delivery is doing well, but it's not quite making up for all of our 6 pie shops for the amount of sales that were down. So once the PPP money runs out, in fact, before it runs out, I'm going to send another letter to my landlord and said we were able to pay you full rent with the help of the PPP money throughout, March and April and May, but come July and August, when we're in the heat of the recession and people are not back employed, other businesses will shut down. Will people still come out into our shops and buy a $20 pie? What will our sales look like towards the end of the summer and into the fall? So I'm going to write my landlords a letter, let them know we've got to work together. We're partners. Either we can close shop because we just won't be able to afford the high rent payment, the lease payment on these 4 strip malls that we're in. So I'm curious of what my landlords are going to do, and I'm curious to see how many vacant spaces will be in all of the strip malls across the country. So if you're thinking about opening a shop, maybe you have a really great idea and you really think it's a great time to open a business in the middle of the recession. I really think that there's going to be a lot of vacancies in the malls, and they may be a dime a dozen. So I would say hold off for a little while if you are going to open. Wait and see what's going to happen. I really think that the landlords would be smart to start negotiating. You know, some other creative things that I've seen happening. My sister is a dog groomer, and she works at Tractor Supply, and at the back of the store she has her nice little grooming salon there at Tractor Supply Company. They're open for business, but they're not allowing her to groom just yet. People are still coming into the store, so they're still employing her. She's got her mask on and she's passing out masks as the people come into the store if they don't have one. So that's her job right now, and it's not a whole lot of fun. She really wants to get back into grooming. Who knows? Can we get creative? Can she groom at her home, in her garage, in her basement? Hair salons, you know. Can people cut hair in their own homes? You know, what's allowed? I think people are going to be really creative, and there's going to be some things happening. And life as usual is not going to get back to life as usual again. You know, we're not going to get back to normal. And I don't think a lot of us really want to get back to normal. And I'm going to talk about how I hated normal and what I thought normal was back before the recession and before the pandemic. I think with everything closed down, it feels like it's Earth Day every day. I'm going to talk about that in another video, and how thankful I am for our farmers and what we at Achatz Pie Company are doing to support all of the grass-fed farmers and the carbon-centric farms where they're rotating, you know, animals from pasture to pasture every day. I'm going to talk about that in another video. I'm really excited to talk about that and share what we're doing as a small food service industry here in Michigan. So we've talked about negotiating with your landlord, right? It's all possible. Don't think that you can't pick up the phone and talk to the owner of that mall that you're in. The managers sometimes have given us a problem and said no, but I like to deal owner to owner. And I'm going to talk with the owners of these strip malls that we're in. You know, we're celebrating our 10th year there in our Beverly Hills location. Our Shelby location, we've been there even longer. We're faithful tenants. We've never missed a payment. I'm hoping that they'll negotiate. I hope they're watching this video. Save me the time from writing them a letter. And again, so you've had 3 options, right? If you would get back into the same business, if you could make that choice that you chose long ago. Is it pandemic proof? Is it recession proof? Then you have 3 choices, right? Change it and fix it, sell it, or close it. And I know that the government does not want us to close our businesses right now. The highest percentage of taxes that are paid come from us, the small businesses. I look at these huge companies like, you know, like Dow Chemical. That comes to mind because they're going underwater right now because of those 2 dams that just broke up in Midland. Oh, what kind of toxins are going out into our into downriver right now from Dow Chemical? So they're a huge company. I just think of all those big ag, big pharma. I think of Amazon. Amazon, do they even pay any taxes? I think of the big 3. Are they paying taxes? Not at the kind of rate that we, the small businesses, are. And I talk to people from the SBA office, and they're like, yeah, small businesses with 500 or less employees pay the highest percentage of taxes. We here at Achatz Pie Company, taxes and unemployment insurance, we're at 40% tax bracket. Yep, you heard it right. So 40% of our profits go back to the government. Like I was saying, the government doesn't want us to go out of business, especially us in the business. Like I said, does Amazon even pay any taxes? I know they were going to open up here in Shelby Township in Michigan off of Hall Road. They were going to employ 3,000 or 4,000 people. They don't pay any taxes. The city of Shelby was going to give them tax-free for years, and no business taxes that they had to pay. They were going to get all kinds of great gifts from our local government to come on in and open up shop there. It's like, man, they can afford to pay taxes. How come we're going to let Amazon get away without paying any taxes? It's not like they're going to, give all their employees a huge bump in pay. I don't think they pay their employees more because they save all that money on taxes. You think they would share it with their employees. But anyway, we don't need those big companies like that coming in and hurting all of us small independents, especially if they're not going to add to our tax base here. I'm 40%. What kind of percentage are you paying? The government does not want us to go out of business. They know where their money comes from, and it comes from us, the small businesses. So they want us back up on that hamster wheel generating tax revenue. They do not want us to close our business. They don't want us to sell our business. They want us to get back on that tax wheel and continue to run as hard as we can. It just feels like giving the government 40% can be a little outrageous, and sometimes we as the small businesses don't feel like getting up out of bed in the morning and getting back on that hamster wheel. How do you guys feel about it? I don't mean to sound cynical. I'm just posing a question. I think that we small businesses, if we were really to pull together, we'd probably have a louder voice than what we think if we were to band together. March on Washington, right? Adjust our tax rates. I think some of these politicians should take a little pay cut too. I think they get a little bit silly with our money and they don't think things out. And as a business, you got to stay profitable. You can't run a huge deficit like this country is being run into. The deficit that we've been suffering for decades, I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like anybody knows how to balance their checkbook there. Oh, all right, you guys, I'm going to sign off now. I hope that you're having a good week. Take a deep breath. Take 4 deep breaths. Don't worry, it's all going to get better and it's all going to be okay. All right, hang in there and I'll see you next Wednesday.
Get me through, get me you, get me half a ton into. I got eyes like